Oh, welcome into another week of Taking Sides. I'm your host, Al Walsh. Find me on Twitter at 14a.walsh. Find my co-host, Pauly Parlays at Game Day Facts over on that Twitter sphere. A lot of good nuggets coming from each side. Also, why don't you get the follower count up there too? At taking_sides. I think you would become the
We're almost at quadruple digits. Only 975 away.
Let's go, baby. We got a long way to go. Help us get there. Week 3 of the NFL season, and Paul and I are coming off different weeks. I had a good one, as he said. It was pre-show in the green room.
It was
the worst betting week of his entire life. So of course we have to break that down because that's hysterical.
Not funny. Literally not funny.
Yeah, I understand. But then
you're putting it out there like I lost millions of dollars.
You did not.
It was the worst against the spread week of my life. I went 4-12. That's really bad. I can go 4-12 most weeks by just saying I'll take the favorites and do nothing. Like literally not do any analysis, just take the favorites and walk away. You'll usually win 6, 7, maybe 8. But yeah, 4-12. It was a rough one.
How many times since we started doing this show did I have the worst week of my life, the worst betting week of my life?
How many times?
Yeah.
7.
Paul was like giving me the numbers to like suicide prevention hotlines a couple times last season. It got rough.
It didn't get that bad.
I know. I can say this, right? Anything ever happens to me, know that I did not off myself. I'm just not that kind of person. I have always made it work. I have been to the bottom of some of the deepest valleys, some of the deep rock bottom. I don't know. It was that bad.
Was your rock bottom the second time you lost a work computer in a single week?
Well, see, you have to get the numbers right. Oh my God, you have to get the numbers right. It was
more than 2.
It was 3 computers in 2 days.
That's completely and utterly absurd. It's a great story for those of you that know Mr. Walsh. I still don't understand how it happened the first time, and then he comes back in. He's like, you were sort of like, it happened again.
So the third one, I think that somebody in my house might have stolen it, and I just never truly believed it. I think that was actually what happened, but
that's messed up.
Neither here nor there. Yeah. All right. So we got to get to some more sunny pastures out there. So I'm actually not a big fan at all of the week 3 slate. I think that there's a lot of question marks out there. And, what they always say, a desperate football team is usually the most dangerous. So a couple 0-2 teams out there that really got to make it work this week. That includes the Bengals, the Raiders, Titans. Like there's some good teams out there looking for their first win of the season. And it's going to be very interesting to see what happens here. And I don't know, like the first 2 weeks, I have been an absolute wild child. Like I've done phenomenal with the picks and everything. But I think I got to give my liver a break this week. First week, I was out there in Bayonne. Second week, I graced the Jersey City with my presence out there. It was a hell of a week, Paulie. They might do a documentary on it. You are not entertained.
No, I'm getting people to tune in.
There we go. All right, shall we kick this party off?
Let's do it, baby.
Let's do it. All right. Obviously, we're recording this here on a Thursday night, so Steelers Browns in progress. All right, 1:00 Sunday slate. Baltimore Ravens at the New England Patriots. Ravens are 3-point favorites in this matchup. Got a lot of so the money line here, minus 145 for the Ravens, plus 130 for the Patriots. Obviously, public, all the money is hopping on that one. Totals in 44 and a half is probably where you're going to see this one. So listen, I have a lot of stock invested in Lamar Jackson with prop bets, fantasy, whatnot, blah blah. I can't get a good read on this game because it feels like the Ravens should be favored by a lot more. It feels like the money line should be a lot more in favor of the Ravens. What do you think? Do you think Vegas is factoring in the hoodie here?
They have to be. But look, the Patriots are coming off a weird win. It was a strange game against the Steelers. Neither team looked very good, to be totally honest. But the Patriots are at home. I guess that's what's going on here. Yet again, this is my favorite pick of the week, which is Ravens -3.
Wow, we get it kicked off with a bang.
I have them as my best bet of the 1:00 slate. It's probably my best bet for all of Sunday, all of week 3, honestly. I absolutely love the Ravens. I think that they are a Super Bowl contender playing a team that's trying to find its identity. It doesn't have one. It seems that like they can run the ball a little. It seems like Jacoby Myers is a pretty good receiver, but Mac Jones clearly doesn't like or isn't flowing with Matt Patricia and Joe Judge, and it kind of is what it is. The one thing I'd like to know, and I know that you're good at these, you can probably look it up while we're talking.
Okay.
What is Harbaugh's record against Belichick? That's the only trepidation I would have. But I love the Ravens -3 in this one. Where are you sitting?
George is thinking, we probably go with the Ravens on this one. Listen, this is not a game that I'm going to be betting this week, but I guess if I had to take a side, it is the Ravens. However, you obviously know I like to go against whatever the market's doing. 78% of the bets right now on the Ravens. And listen, there is a 2.5 out there too that you can get. 2.5 there on PointsBet. Wow, geez, you get a lot of them. PointsBet, DraftKings, FanDuel. So we've talked about it a bunch of times. The rule of 3, the 3-point spread. So to see that dip underneath -3 is certainly troubling there for the Ravens. They, that was a tough loss last week for them. They looked like they had it all wrapped up against the Dolphins. You got to wonder, what the psyche's like coming back, after a situation like that. But big move today by the Ravens too. JPP heading there on a 1-year deal.
Hell yeah, saw that. It makes me really, really like my my Ravens Super Bowl pick. I got that really early. I think it was like 30-40 to 1. If I wasn't blind, I could read the board to my left. I swear to God, I'm going to put my glasses on and see what I have it at. Yep, now I can see it. It is 50 to win 1,100. So what are those odds? Can you do that math in your head?
50 to win 100?
$1,100 divided by 50, 22 to 1. That's nice.
Yeah. All right, that'll do it. George showed up today. He said, "What's up?"
Our mascot, the Taking Sides mascot.
What a pain in the ass.
George Taking Sides Walsh is
guy just laid down in the middle of the street before the show, and I'm like, bro, we gotta hit the start date here. So the markets are certainly troubling there for the Ravens. So you know what? I'm gonna reverse course here. Reverse, and probably go Patriots here if we're seeing it under 3 in this one. And of course, right, if you're gonna bet the Patriots, buy that half point, and get yourself up to 3, maybe even 3.5, right?
Where is Al Walsh and what have you done with him? Since when do you buy points? That's what I do.
That is not true. I've always been a big point betting guy.
My thing, and I've said this forever, is if you don't like a line and you're willing to spend a couple extra dollars, make it what you want it to be, because a win is a win. Like the worst thing ever is when you lose by the hook.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's why I took the Browns tonight, and my initial thought, Browns money line, my initial thought was to buy it up to -2.5, and doing that was -184, I believe, something like that. And the money line was -205. So you're only risking a little bit more. So I figured, you know what? We'll take the safest route here. And taking the safest route and the Cleveland Browns in the same sentence, it just doesn't make sense. Does not exist.
Are you frozen or am I frozen? Because
I see frozen.
You're frozen.
Yeah.
Wait, no. You think I'm frozen? You're frozen.
No.
I see me moving. I don't see you moving.
I mean, no, I am moving. But listen, by the way,
You are
people,
wrong, Al, because I just opened it up live. I'm not frozen. You are frozen.
well, tough shit. Listen, I got the internet cord this
I'm
week.
literally watching people tuning in,
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
I'm moving, and you're not.
I've got the internet cord this week. It's not me.
Listen, by the way, you are wrong, Al, because I just
No, actually, you're right. No, no.
you hear it echoing because it's on a delay.
All right.
You got to fix your internet, bro. Oh, you're back. You're back. You're moving.
It's and I tell this to the people all the time. Like I bought the most expensive internet package
I
because I
think you
knew.
need a new internet provider.
Yeah. Now the two dogs are howling upstairs. This is one hell of a show that we're going to. All right. So
Wait, I have a great idea.
yeah.
First off, congratulations again on Take a Side. You defeated me 2-1 again last week. You now have you are now ahead 4-2. It's a hell of a lead. It's an enormous lead. You're so far ahead that if I lose Take a Side this year, I'm gonna pay for your cable and get you a new internet provider. That's the plan.
Well,
if I lose, I will buy you 1 month of cable and internet. If you lose, what do I get?
DirecTV.
You're gonna buy me DirecTV?
Yeah, why not? Why not?
Why would I want DirecTV?
You deserve it. You deserve it.
Can I get Fubo TV? Fubo TV?
I can get you Fubo.
So that's one of our promos where like what Fubo Sportsbook does is they give you a free month of Fubo TV, which I think is pretty cool, honestly. I've never used the sportsbook, so I can't tell you much about it, but I think it's obviously something that they can provide that other sportsbooks can't. But we only have them currently in 2 states, Arizona and Iowa, where I am not in either of them. So that is why I've never tried the sportsbook.
Interesting. All right. Let's moving on to the next game this week. We've got the Kansas City Chiefs at the Indianapolis Colts. Right now, best you're going to do for the Chiefs, -5.5 on this one. Total, we'll call it 50. And then the money lines for each team: Kansas City -240, Indy +215. Not seeing, the public here, probably about 70%, right? We'll go with on the spread and the money line there for the Chiefs. Seeing the money a little more even, but still in favor in Kansas City. Now, I told you that I had a fantastic stat for the Colts, or
you did
to go.
I can't wait to hear it.
To go against the Colts, but they are actually 1-7 against the spread in their last 8 as a home underdog.
Amazing, love it.
Yeah, not good news. Obviously, listen, this is a much different team with Matt Ryan playing quarterback for the Colts, or is it? Things haven't been going so well for the Colts. 0-1-1 they are to start out the season. They did have a really bad performance in Jacksonville last week, but it seems like that Indy team just historically struggles there. Must be something there in Adams' mark that ain't doing so hot there for him. But whatever the case is, Chiefs at 2-0, Colts looking to get their first win. A lot of, I believe, I forget if I said it in the beginning of the show. It was only like 10 minutes ago. But again, you get these winless teams here in week 3. They start getting desperate, and that means that they start getting hungry, and that could be good for them. So I guess, we talked about this. I kind of like the situation here with the Colts. You're getting Matty Ryan back indoors, getting a lot of points here at home. So I do think that despite, that trend that I just laid out there for the Colts, I think that they are the correct play in this one.
So that is the only reason that I haven't placed a bet on this game yet is desperation. The Colts were one of the teams I really liked coming into the NFL season. Yeah. So it's hard in that we're in week 3 and to get off of it. I can't just be like, oh, I don't like the Colts anymore. I have a bet on them to win their division where I can't let my futures bets affect my week-to-week plays. And that's something that I'm trying to stay away from. The Chiefs look like one of 2 elite teams right now. It's them and the Bills. It stinks that they're both in the same conference because we can't see them meet in the Super Bowl. But the Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes are one of, 3-4 teams from 2 weeks of play that I think can win the Super Bowl. It doesn't matter. It's going to change in the next 2-3 months. But right now, they're world beaters. They're amazing. And you have a Colts team that didn't score a point against the Jacksonville Jaguars. It's just so tricky. But like first glance is love the Chiefs for anything less than 7. But the Colts are a desperate team that I still think wins that division, and they have to win games at some point. So that's the only reason that I haven't locked this one in. But I'm taking the Chiefs minus the points.
Yeah, when I, at the beginning of the show, and I said I really, don't like this slate, it's games like this that are doing it for me. It's not something that I'm rushing, to place in on my app or whatever the case is. Like, it's just, I'll wait and see on this one. I think this is going to be a red zone weekend for me anyway. So I'm not enthusiastic about this slate at all. But yeah, I mean, listen, you laid it out. Chiefs would look pretty good here. I know, listen, that Chargers defense that they faced last week is very good, and it was a pick 6 that gave the Chiefs the lead in that game, all the way down at the 1 there for them. So, I mean, again, I'm not confident in this one. Just again, knowing that this is a pretty good team, getting a lot of points at home. They're back indoors. They seem like a much different team there. But I mean, listen, as an underdog, I guess, when you look at a stat like that with the Colts, right? Like, they are a pretty good team year after year. And when they're an underdog, there's probably a reason, right? It's just how much do they lose by in this one? I feel like Colts could very well lose this game by 3 points. And that, and obviously that would get them the cover in this one, but that's just kind of how I feel like this will land. And by the way, the Caesars 18-wheeler will be in Indy this weekend for this game. We had a successful launch on Monday night in Buffalo. Nobody got body slammed on the top of the 18-wheeler, though, sadly to report, but good kickoff there for the Caesars brand. By the way, these Caesars folks, they know how to throw a party, man. Henrik Lundqvist in the building, Kenny Mayne on Tuesday. It's a big week.
Yeah, tell the listeners you got to meet those guys. You challenged them to ping pong matches. They declined.
I did not. By the way, Henrik Lundqvist, man, what a cool dude. Just kind of like, going into different groups, talking with people, taking pictures, signing pictures, doing all kinds of stuff like that. I had to tell him, I was like, listen, I was one of the guys. I was a defenseman. I protected guys like you in my day there. He laughed it off, and then I said, let's go Lightning, and I walked away.
Wow. You walked it off with a let's go Lightning?
By the way, and after that, some dude with a devil shirt went up next and took the next picture there with Lundqvist.
So if I was in the office and I knew that Lundqvist was coming, I have a Mike Richter plaque.
Oh, man.
I would have brought that with me and asked him to sign it. And then he would literally look at me and be like, "What?" I'll be like, "It's Rangers goalie."
Sir, that is not me. That is not me. But yeah, it was super cool. By the way, the Caesars office there, Jersey City, it is just absolutely gorgeous, man. Views of downtown Manhattan all over the place. There's one side of the room where you can just like look down the Hudson River. It's so cool. You see the whole Jersey side with Hoboken and Weehawken in the background. And then on the other side, you got Manhattan going all the way up to Times Square and parts past that. So it is quite the sights there at that thing, man. I find myself like daydreaming a lot, just like watching a helicopter. It's just like, it's so cool to see.
That's your back to the office experience.
Yeah, I have never been on the 28th floor before, man.
I feel like if I ever go back to an office, I'm just going to be so distracted by coworkers where like
not bad.
When I work from home and I can focus because I'm in my own office and it's me and I do what I do and that's it. Like I just get what I need to get done.
Yep.
I feel like when we were coworkers and we sat next to each other, like half the time I would just like tap you on the shoulder and be like, "Want to go play ping pong?"
Oh man, good time. Well, sort of good times. I enjoyed working.
You and I had good times.
Absolutely.
Think about it that way. Like that job gave us a lifelong friendship, which is amazing
for sure.
Like it gave us a podcast. Like
I did not
think about the good things that came out of that.
Yeah, I did not mean working with you, and I just meant like the whole experience in general.
You hated. No, I'm kidding. I think we had a great time. I mean,
Yeah,
for what
sure.
it was, there were positives and there's negatives to anything.
Yeah. Well, we saw each other all the time. It was like, wake up. It's like, all right.
Wake up, sleep,
Yeah.
hang out, work, sleep, hang out, work.
It's insane. It's crazy how different life is now, but it's good. I'm definitely like the happiest I've ever been in my like working career, you know? Like
That's great.
it's
I
been
love that you love your job.
yeah, oh my God, it's fantastic. Great people. The Caesars folks are wonderful people.
Have you met JB Smooth?
I haven't yet, but I
Like, I'm
assume
just
at
trying to
some
think of
point.
like the Caesars people.
Yeah, you would think like for like if you were
I
gonna
want you to meet
have
the Mannings just so you can talk to Cooper Manning.
I love that commercial with the charades. It's like it's so awesome. It's so awesome. Great job by the people. All right, let's roll it down the track. Detroit Lions at Minnesota Vikings. Vikings 6-point favorites in this one. That's probably the best you're going to do on any book out there. Money lines here: Vikings minus 240, Lions plus 215. A lot of money coming in on the Lions on the money line here. 80% in fact. And total, we'll just call it 52. You're going to get 51 and a half, 52 and a half, the best at both books as well. So I think it seems pretty clear, right? Like the Lions have played two very good games. Vikings came out, looked amazing in week 1 against the Packers, absolutely looked terrible in front of the entire nation on the Monday night doubleheader in week 2. So it seems like the Lions should easily cover this. However, again, we're seeing why the line is up this high. I think, Minnesota, a little bit of a different team at home. I think they're going to be better. Thank God Kirk Cousins isn't playing on prime time. That's usually when he does his worst. So the 1 o'clock start probably going to help him out there. I mean, yes, it seems the way to go is the Lions in this one. But again, I'm not going to take the bait here. I do think that the Vikings can cover this. Will they? That's a a question for another day. But probably one that I'm laying away from. But I think if you make a play, Lions is probably what to do here.
I think all the money is on the Lions because everyone just watched Kirk Cousins be the worst quarterback ever on national TV. Where whenever that happens, do the opposite. Is literally what you should do here. So everything to me, like the line might be right. I have two things written down on my trusty picks pad, which is Vikings win, Lions likely cover. Like, if all the money is on Lions money line, that's because people are like, ooh, look how bad this Vikings team is. This Vikings team is not bad. This Vikings team is a playoff team. This Vikings team, if they're not in prime time, it can like do something in the playoffs. They have all the pieces. The issue is that Kirk Cousins, under the bright lights, he turns into like I don't even know what the right word is. Like he goes from being good to being bad. I don't have the perfect analogy right here.
Here we go. Under the bright lights, he's not that bright. How you like that?
Fine. You got it.
Boom.
So looking at the numbers, it's Thursday. We'll see what happens over the next couple of days. But that you're saying all the money is on the Lions money line, that says to me, just take the Vikings money line. So what I'll do is I'll add that as a leg to one of my many parlays this week.
Yeah. Also, I do like the total here, right? I mean, both offenses, especially going to be indoors for this one. So, despite it being a divisional matchup here. So, I think if you can get somewhere down into that 51 range, right? Get yourself a 27, 24-ish kind of game. I think that's where you're going to need to be. I think, both offenses pedal to the metal on this one here. I do like the over. Now, it is worth mentioning that pretty much all the bets, all the money is on the over, but you know what? I don't really care. I've watched both teams play both games this season, and I like what I see out of both offenses. So give me the over here.
Sounds like a plan, my friend. Also, the game's in Minnesota, right?
Yeah.
So that is a dome.
It is a dome.
More points get scored indoors.
Oh, you are good. You are good.
The team that scores the most points is going to win the game.
Just looking at some of these past matchups, right? So 3 of the last 4 have been pretty high scoring. 29, 27. You had a 19-17 in there. You had a 37, 35, 34, 20. So that's good news there. 3 of the last 4 over 50.
Sounds like an over could happen.
Yes, indeed. All right, let's get to an NFC mouth. NFC. Oh, Jesus, it's been
An
a long week.
NFC mouth?
An NFC mouth. An NFC
I love
South.
NFC mouths. Those are my favorite.
Oh boy. New Orleans Saints at the Carolina Panthers. Saints 2.5-point favorites in this one. Money lines, you got New Orleans at -140, Carolina +130. Total 41 points. Not that extravagant in this one. I guess the big market in this one, 86% of the money is on Carolina at +2.5 here, 63% of the bets. I know that the Saints absolutely stunk it up last week, but I just don't think that this Panthers team is very good. This is probably one of the games that I actually will put my own hard-earned money on, and I'm probably going to go Saints -2.5 here.
This is a game that I just can't figure out. I told you that before we came on, where I either like the Saints to win and cover or the Panthers to win as a home underdog. When we're talking about desperate teams, the Panthers have to be a desperate team at this point. If they lose this game, I wouldn't be surprised if Matt Rule is the first coach fired this season. That's
Yeah.
kind of where they're at. Like, Christian McCaffrey popped up on the injury report today, but he said he's fine. You go pick up Baker Mayfield in the offseason. They're a desperate team. I don't think that the Saints are in that same place. The game is also at the Panthers, which gives them some sort of advantage. I'm kind of caught in the middle here. I don't have a really good read on this game in any way, shape, or form. But I'm either thinking the Saints win and cover easy, or the Panthers win as a home underdog.
Yeah, I think, the Saints defense is still, I guess the elite unit in this game, right? We saw them do pretty well again against Tom Brady. It was a 20-10 final. The Bucs had a pick 6. Jameis threw interceptions on 3 straight drives down the stretch there. So, they show that they can hang with a good team like the Buccaneers. I also think too, Kamara is going to be back this week, correct?
We think. We're not sure.
Okay.
He's still questionable.
I mean, that's obviously going to have something to do with it as well. But I don't know. I just think that the Saints defense is just the elite unit here that will take over the game and they'll get it done.
I also think that Kamara's status is can change the game. You saw what they were with him out. They weren't the same offense. With him in the game, they're just a better team.
A couple of numbers that I plucked. Don Best, by the way, some great trends out there for the NFL if you want to check some of these out for yourself. These are pretty interesting. I mean, listen, take it for what you will because this obviously spans over, maybe different coaching staffs. But Carolina 6-19-1 against the spread in their last 26 home games, while New Orleans 19-9 against the spread in their last 28 games as a road favorite.
I love when you come in with these hard facts.
I had a tough day Tuesday. Well, I shouldn't say a tough day. I actually had to go back into the work world. But I came home Tuesday and I just relaxed, you know what I'm saying? And I put together, the sheet for the show and everything. And I said, let me try to find some trends. And boy, did I find the end of the rainbow in this one.
Oh, I know.
Oh, it's very good. All right, Houston Texans at the Chicago Bears. Bears 2.5-point favorites in this one. Looking at the money lines here, you're going to have Chicago at -144, Houston at +132. Those are the best prices out there. Got the total at 40 in this game. Money, 66% of the money going towards the over in this one. Paul, you and I talked for the show. We both like the Texans here. A lot of money heading that way, right? 83% of the money on the spread, only 58% of the bets. So it does seem like that is the sharp play here, going with the Texans. And then You got 72% of the bets, 80% of the money on the Texans money line in this one. So again, we're talking about a team that just played on national TV. They come back, right? Like the last thing that we saw was the Bears, just kind of sucking it up there against the Packers once again. But I do, the Texans are playing some pretty good football right now, so I do think that they are the better play in this one.
Yep, I'm with you on this one. I really like the Texans either plus the points. I would love it if it gets to 3, taking +3, but I also like the Texans money line here. I just think the Bears are one of the bottom 3 teams in the league this year. The Texans are the bottom third of the league, but they're theoretically better than the Bears. The Bears have Justin Fields, who looks like an NFL quarterback and that he has a future, but there's like 3 other NFL players on that roster in David Montgomery, Darnell Mooney, and Cole Kmet. And they're all on the offensive side of the ball. Their offensive line is terrible. Their whole defense is a joke. Like there is nothing there. The only reason that people think the Bears are any good is because they got lucky in week 1 with the weather against a rookie Trey Lance isn't a rookie anymore, but in a quarterback in his 3rd career start in torrential downpour tornado. So it made them look better than they are. I think that we're still thinking about that, and that's why the Bears are even favored in this game. I think that the Texans should be favored, so I'm taking either the Texans plus the points or money line.
Of course, right? Rule of 3 once again, and the Bears aren't there at the 3. So again, it just feels, it feels right. Texans are going to be one of my biggest bets of the week this week. Really like them a lot here against the Bears. And, Texans hung pretty well with the Broncos last week. I know, a lot of people are down on the Broncos, new quarterback, new head coach, whatever the case is. But Denver is just not a friendly atmosphere for the road team, to say the least.
We're about to hit halftime in the Thursday night football game.
Yeah.
The Steelers are up by 1.
I can't believe they didn't call that a catch for Cooper. Like, I really can't. Like, why do they hate my life? It's not fair. Okay. Nobody cares. All right.
My Steelers receivers props are not looking very good right now.
Oh, would you go under?
I took the over on Najee Harris, 18.5 yards, and over on Freiermuth, like 28.
Okay.
Freiermuth doesn't have a catch. Najee's got 1 for 4.
All right. Got plenty of time.
We got a whole half. We got a whole half to make it up. Let's go.
All right. Keep it on with the 1 o'clock window. We got the Eagles at the Commanders. Eagles, 6.5-point favorites in this one. Eagles minus 265 on the money line, while the Commanders are at plus 240. Total in this one opened at 50. We're seeing it now all the way down to 47, 47.5. Do have an NFC East divisional tilt in this one. Of course, Carson Wentz going to be taking on his former team. I listen, when this line was initially drawn up for the season, it was a pick 'em, and Eagles 6.5 after that dismantling of Minnesota on Monday Night Football. I think the market overreacted way too much here. I'd love to get Washington all the way up to +7, +7.5, if that's going to be financially, if that's going to be doable. So yes, I am going with the Commanders in this one. One of my favorite bets of the week. I am going all the way up to +7.5. I'll make it happen somewhere.
So this is one of those like weird games. I have trouble with the NFC East. Like I always have. It's because like I care for the Giants, but I also hate them all at the same time. And their competition just messes with my mind. But here's my ridiculous thought about this game.
Okay.
I bet on Nick Sirianni to win Coach of the Year because I think at the end of the season, the Eagles are going to win the 1 seed and be like 14-3. There's 17 games now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking this out in my mind before it comes out of my mouth.
Mm-hmm.
So there have to be games that the Eagles lose. And if you look at their schedule, this is one of the maybes. The Eagles have like 12 free wins, and it's crazy, which is why I made the Sirianni bet. I'm really, really sad that I missed out on the Eagles Super Bowl bet that I wanted. This week, since their last game, they have gone from 18-1 to 13-1. They're now like 9 or 10-1 on every book. I can't bet that. It's too short for me. But with their schedule and the fact that I think that they're going to end up being the 1 seed, I need to somehow get them into my portfolio. I'll figure it out. I don't know how I'm going to do it unless I take it now. I need them to lose a couple games, and that's really tricky. But I'm talking in circles. But the long story short is this is one of the games that the Eagles can possibly lose when you look at their schedule. So with that thought, I'm going to lean to the Commanders plus a touchdown. That it's at +7. I think that's enough. Even if the Eagles win, I think it's a closer game than the spread says.
How could you possibly think that the Eagles have an easy schedule when they still have to face those 2-0 New York Giants twice this season?
Oh, the 2-0 New York Giants, who will end the season with maybe 7 wins.
How about them Giants? Yeah, listen. I mean, listen. Jalen Hurts. I liked him a lot going into this season, and he's lived up to the billing here early. First 2 games. I mean, listen. Let's keep it in mind too, right? At Detroit, home against the Vikings, who are not great at all on prime time. Just got to do a little reality check, but they do play the Jags next week. Probably
that's a
win.
win. Go down their schedule and find me losses.
I pulled it up.
Their schedule is like so light. It's so easy.
I mean, they could certainly lose to Arizona, Dallas.
Arizona sucks. You know I hate Arizona. So like
Indy,
that there's another
Green
layer to
Bay.
that. Okay, wait, what'd you say?
Indy, Green Bay.
Okay, so that's maybe 2 losses.
You got the Saints on there.
Okay, but that's what I'm saying. There's only like 4 or 5 games that they can even potentially lose.
Yeah, they do play the Bears.
They have so many easy games that it's
at Houston.
If I can pivot here, they have so many easy games. So when do you take them in Survivor? Because you and I have to talk about that anyway, since our Survivor pick advanced, and now we're on to week 3, and we haven't figured out who we're taking this week just yet.
I do like. I mean, obviously we got to figure out this week, but the Eagles at home against the Jags next week seems like a slam dunk.
And I like the Chargers against the Jags this week, but that has me making a play with a half-broken quarterback.
Yeah.
That's why I'd like to find another game. And there's no like Bucks are at home against the Bears. There is no game like that this week.
Yeah, no, it is absolutely wild. All right. Moving on down the list, we're gonna go to Bills Dolphins in this one. Bills favored by 5 on the road. There's a 5.5 out there you can get if you like the Dolphins. Money lines for this one: Bills -215, Dolphins +200. 52.5 is where the total sits at. So interesting to note, Bills have given up the second fewest total yards so far in the NFL, and then the Dolphins and the Bills, each respectively, have gained the second and third most yards of any team so far in the NFL this season. Now, this line opened up 3.5 in favor of the Bills. Again, we're getting that opening number there of over 3 there for the road team. So I absolutely love that for the Bills. Now that it's going up, I think it kind of verifies at least kind of what I was thinking on this one. But even though it's up that high, I do like the Bills in this one. You are getting 70% of the bets, 70% of the money on the Bills spread in this one. However, if you look at the money lines, you get slightly more money in on the Dolphins, but 68% of the bets are coming in on the Bills for the money line. So I do think that the Bills win this game by a touchdown. I think that, their defense is probably going to be a little too much for Tua. I understand guy's been playing out of his mind here. First 2 weeks, got Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle. It's a nice little combo to have, but I just think the Bills are too much right now.
The Bills are the best team in football, period.
Yeah.
There's no way around it. Until I see something otherwise, I am taking the Bills minus the points. This number seems light. That's what I don't get. How is it only 5.5? The Bills are the best team in football. They should be favored by a touchdown. I don't understand why they're not. I guess because it's at Miami and because like Tua looks okay, but the Bills are beating really, really good teams handily. They're coming off that crazy playoff loss to the Saints, to the Chiefs last season, and they're just on a mission. They honestly are. The signing of Von Miller has changed their defense, and they just have everything. I like the Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs connection is the best in the NFL. Crowder returning kicks has been amazing. McKenzie looks like a player. Gabe Davis hasn't done much, but he's still there. Dawson Knox, Singletary, like they're just so good, and I don't see a hole. And it's just, can they keep up this elite for the next 4 months? Is really what it's all about. So until further notice, I am taking the Bills minus the points.
I'm kind of shocked that this is where the market is, right? After that big win against the Ravens, you'd figure, more people would be on the Dolphins, especially with the line moving up in this instance. But I think, the line moving up, from 3.5 to even 5.5 in some spots, I think it's very telling that, the Bills are king shit right now. King shit.
Bills are just so good. There's no way around it. I have them on my Super Bowl list. Before the season, they were 6-1. I thought it was light. They're at 3-1 now, which is crazy that we're in week 3 and they're the 3-1 favorite to win the Super Bowl. That's just completely insane to me. I thought 6 was light. I think 3. I thought 6 was too short. 3 is just insane. Like, there's no point in betting it when you can just bet their games in the playoffs rather than take that. What is going on with your camera?
I don't know.
It literally looks like you're inside a light bulb.
Yeah, I know. I don't know what happened there.
That's on your computer?
Yeah, I don't know. I was looking at the YouTube feed and it was all blurry, so I was like, "Oh, let me wipe this smudge off there," and then I smudged it even more.
What is it?
I don't know.
Do a little anti to it. Give it a little ant. See what happens.
Crazy.
Are you using dial-up AOL right now? Is that what's going on?
I really don't want to have to call out Optimum more than I do, but
I'll call Optimum for you. I'm really good at being a Karen when I call places. I'm the guy who, when I call and if I'm on hold for more than 20 minutes, the minute they connect me, I say, "Please give me your supervisor." I was on the phone. I forget what it was. It was last week where I was calling my dental insurance to find out if my dentist is in network. And I was on the phone for over an hour so that they could tell me that my dentist was out of network, but that cleanings that are out of network are fully covered. Why didn't they just tell me, no matter what dentist you go to, your yearly checkup is fully covered? Because then we wouldn't have been on the phone for over an hour.
Guy I work with has been going through some dental stuff as well, but
I'm not going through dental stuff. I went for my yearly cleaning. No cavities, go me.
Yeah. I am an anti-dentite to the fullest. I got my Seinfeld.
You don't see dentists?
No, I had to. I'm just saying that shit hurts, bro. So
it doesn't affect me. I just lay there with my eyes closed, open my mouth, and
I was telling the story today. One of the last times I was there, I had to get a tooth extracted.
You're frozen again, by the way.
Whatever. And so I had to get I had to get a tooth extracted, and the dentist
did Aroldis Chapman change his number?
He had his foot up on the chair,
you got to get a new dentist,
ripping the tooth out of my mouth, and limited in terms of alleviating the pain or whatever. They just came and got a shovel and some hedge clippers and got that thing out of my mouth. Like, it was wild, man.
I think you need to
Absolutely
see a New York
wild.
dentist. I think the problem is New Jersey. I think that's what it is.
I don't know. It like I did get a lot of dental work done this year, but
The problem is always New Jersey.
the
I
guy
can't
that
wait
took
till
that
we have the contest of New York versus New Jersey bagels, New York versus New Jersey
come on.
pizza.
Oh,
It's not even
God.
close.
Stop it. You're embarrassing yourself on national radio right now.
It's not even close, dude. The
No.
problem is, in
Come on.
order to do the challenge, we have to get the food in the same place, and you need to have it fresh. So how do we do that?
Luckily,
Do we get the food and then meet in Manhattan, which is in New York, which proves why New York wins?
luckily, over the weekend, I developed a technology for teleportation, so we're gonna be okay for this.
You're going to make it happen?
Yeah, I developed the technology for teleportation over the weekend in my
There
free time.
is no way that you can have a better bagel anywhere in New Jersey. And I can give you like 4 New York options.
Yeah, bagels, you got us, but pizza is where I draw the line. The best pizza
What's
in the
the best
entire
pizza
world.
in New Jersey?
This place not too far from me, it's called Three Brothers. Their Sicilian pizza will make you weep tears of joy.
Okay, so I'm coming to Jersey for Sunday football this weekend, and
You
we'll get that
can.
pizza.
Yes.
I
Although
am off Monday for the Jewish holiday, but I should,
they don't
I'm supposed
open
to I'm
until
supposed
4.
to do Rosh Hashanah dinner with my family on Sunday.
Actually, we should get together for that the Columbus Day weekend.
I don't know if I'm off that Monday, but we'll figure it out.
All right. Yeah, I might not be either, but who cares? All right, let's keep it moving on down the list. We got Cincinnati Bengals at the New York Jets. Bengals -6 here on the road, heading out to MetLife. In terms of the money line, Bengals -240, Jets +215. And then the total we got at 45 points in this one. A lot of bets, a lot of money coming in, over 90%. Bets and money in favor of the Bengals in this one. In terms of the money line, it's a lot more even, right around 50-50 in that regard. So I told you before the show that I like the Jets, and looking at the money allocation, I think I like them even more. I could probably get this to +7. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe the Jets beat the Bengals at MetLife last season.
So that is how I lost in Survivor last season. I took the Bengals. They lost to the Jets, and then the Bengals went on to make the Super Bowl. Like, just think about that. Like, logically, it was logically illogical. So I actually took the Bengals at open. It opened at -4. So I took it at open -4. I love that. I was like, the line is too short. Money's going to come in on the Bengals. It's going to go up. That you're saying it's at like 6 now is crazy to me. But I'm on the Bengals -4. Once you get up to 6, I kind of am like, it's more of a lean than a pick. I still like the Bengals. The Bengals are going to win the game. I think that we're overrating the Jets because of their miraculous victory over the Browns last week. But the Jets are not a good team. Joe Flacco is not a good quarterback. I don't care that he is throwing the ball 50 times a game. You have a real defense and a real offense with this Bengals team that I think they're just gonna run away with this one a bit. If we are to take a side on this, because I know that if you're on the Jets, I'm on the Bengals. What's the number? That's because I have it at 4. You're saying it's at 6. Do we split the difference with our number, or what's the current number?
Jets +10.5.
No, come on.
All right, so I got 6. 6 is the best that you can get on any site right now.
So me getting it at 4 was seemingly a good bet. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
That's kind of how I look at this, where that's why I bet it on Tuesday, because I was like, this number just doesn't seem right. And worst case, look, the Jets could win the game. The Jets could cover the 4. But when I make a bet early in the week and then it moves where the line gets to be worse for me, at least I can say I placed a good bet. But if you want to do it at 6, I have no choice because you're the host of this wonderful show. So let's take a side. I have the Bengals -6. You have the Jets +6.
Yeah, I'm pretty comfortable with that.
You better be comfortable. I
as
thought you were going to
we
be nice and say split the difference at 5.
no, gotta go 6. It's
You're
current.
the leader in the clubhouse. You can do whatever you want.
Oh God, I love this. I love this position.
Isn't it nice? Like now you know how I felt for like 2 whole years.
I feel like I'm floating in the air somehow. Yeah, listen, Flacco 1-0 against Ohio teams this year. I got no doubt about the guy.
What a stat! What a stat!
No, listen.
1-0 against Ohio teams. That's
The
awesome.
Jets, I know that the Ravens game probably didn't look that glamorous from the final result. Not a great day out in Jersey that day. I believe we're going to have good weather for this one here too. So yeah, they can keep it tight enough. I mean, the Jets are a pretty decent football team. I actually watched a lot of them in the preseason. I know, whatever, take it for what you will, but they were competing pretty much everybody out there. They are much better coached now under Robert Saleh. And look, man, Bengals, the Super Bowl hangover. I always say this every year, or not say it, but I always watch out for it every year because it is interesting, right? Like, you just bust your ass, and then that final moment, it's all gone, and essentially your off season sucks. And I mean, it just happens to everybody, So again, I think that the Bengals can absolutely win this game for sure. But if I do eventually take this game, it's going to be upwards of 7.5, just so I can get that backboard.
I did not like the Bengals at any point last year. And I think that it was just like the perfect storm for them to make the Super Bowl. I loved the Rams in that Super Bowl. You know that. I doubled down on my future on them and a bunch of other bets. Took them first half, took them in the game, I already had a future on them where I just the road that the Bengals took once they made the playoffs was like immaculate. It was perfect for them. And I didn't that's why I loved the Ravens this season because same division, everyone still thinks the Bengals are this really good team, but I think that they were just a bit lucky last season. Does that mean that I don't like the Bengals in this game? No, I do, because the Jets are a bottom 10 team and the Bengals are a top 10 to 15 team in the league. So it's really, I think the Bengals are going to win this game. I might end up going to the game now because I'm thinking about, Sunday, Jets, Bengals, that could be fun. Want to do that?
No.
Okay, I'll go myself. But I think the Bengals win. I think we're slightly overrating the Jets just because they finally won a game. But the way that they won it means that's what means a lot to me. They had to have this ridiculous, 3 minutes, 2 minutes in order for it to happen. And I just think you're facing a better team that has the experience here. Look, I could be wrong. Like I said, I lost my Survivor pick with them last year. I will not be taking them in Survivor this week because you're not going to pick them. So we're good. But yeah, I'm on the Bengals. And like I said, Bengals -6 for me, Jets +6 for you for our first take aside of week 3.
All right. Moving on down the schedule, we've got the Las Vegas Raiders traveling into Music City to face the Tennessee Titans. Raiders 1.5-point favorites in this one. We're talking about the money line here. Raiders -125, Titans +115. Total 45.5 is the best you can get anywhere out there in the sportsbook world. So betting markets, everything, a lot of this is 50-50. Although you do see about 70% of the money on the Raiders money line here. I predicted Tennessee to have one of the biggest drop-offs this season, and that is looking pretty damn good. Although, tough Bills team that they faced last week. I don't think a lot of teams are going to do well, but they still suck. The whole thing. Now, Ryan Tannehill got replaced by Willis at the end of that game. I don't necessarily think it's a quarterback controversy. I mean, they probably just didn't want to get Tannehill killed out there. But I'm not impressed, man. I know, Treylon Burks been a good receiver there for Tennessee, but if your rookie is the one doing it all for you, I just don't think that spells success. Give me the Raiders in this one, even though they disappointed me pretty big time last week.
Yeah, Robert Woods, where are you hiding? What are you doing, man? Like I'll take Buffalo Bills Robert Woods. I don't need LA Rams Robert Woods. Buffalo Bills Robert Woods is all I need. He's been like non-existent for a couple weeks. I was down. I was anti-Titans coming into the season as well. As you know, I was big on the Colts, where this is literally my no-touch game. We have two teams that are 0-2, and no one thought they were both going to be 0-2. I either think that the Titans, these two teams are going to show us what they really are this week. They were both playoff teams from last year. I'm not touching this game. I have no idea. If you put all 16 games in order of my like confidence meter of picking the game, this one is number 16. I have literally no idea what to do here. Don't ask me about it, except that I hope Ryan Tannehill stops being playoff Ryan Tannehill and does something good this week against the Raiders.
Yeah. I think I am probably going to go with the Raiders here. I like, obviously, if you bet the money line minus 124, that's a pretty good price. Nothing that's really going to, or 125, sorry, nothing that's going to like break the bank or anything like that. So, yeah, I thought the Raiders last week were shoo-in to just clock the Cardinals, and they did most of the game, and then just kind of gave it up.
They did until they didn't.
Yeah, I know we talked about the Ravens earlier. Maybe that could be a detriment for them too. So that possibility is always there with the Raiders. But I kind of like betting against this Tennessee team at home. I mean, I just personally have had success with it. Great number here. Here we go. Tennessee 3-12 against the spread in their last 15 after a Monday Night Football game. Listen, and you take that stat for what you will. Of course, this probably goes back a couple years, but still a funny stat to mention in there. Also, this is worth noting too. Raiders 0-5 in their last 5 as a road favorite.
Can you do me a favor?
What's up?
Turn your camera off and turn it back on.
Okay.
I feel like that might do it because there's a button. Will I lose you entirely where it'll just be me? In the bottom left-hand corner, look at the 3 dots. Now it's just me. Hello, sports fans. It's Pauly Parlays on Taking Sides. I'm waiting for Al to come back so that we can give you our picks for the 4 o'clock games. I feel like I'm reading a commercial right now, and it's great. I don't know how long Al will be gone for, so let's see how long I have to talk to myself. And he's back, and it worked. Oh, my goodness.
Are we sure? Now, just give it a little bit of time.
I want you, after the show, to go back to the 57-minute mark and listen to the 30-second monologue I just did while your mic was off, while your mic and camera was off, because I'm laughing at myself for it.
Are you trying to say that you're going solo?
No, I am not. But it was funny talking to myself.
All right, fair enough.
And now let's do the 4 o'clock game.
The 4 o'clock window, baby. We'll kick it off. I'm just going down the list. This is obviously not in order of excitement, as you will find out. But the Jacksonville Jaguars at the Los Angeles Chargers. Chargers 7-point favorites in this one. Money line, Chargers are at minus 295. Jags plus 260. Total sitting at 47 points right now. Of course, the status of Justin Herbert is what everybody's going to be wondering about in this game. Took some pretty nasty shots in Kansas City on the Thursday night game. Luckily, had a couple extra days to rest up, but we'll probably get some more information by the time that you guys are listening to this podcast on Friday. So I know.
What are you talking about? We're live, bro.
I understand that we're live, but the people aren't on right now.
There are a couple people, literally a couple.
They're watching Aaron Judge. They're probably watching Thursday Night Football.
That's true.
They might be watching some stupid documentary on Lifetime. I mean, I don't know what their deal is.
Well, This was the only survivor pick that I've locked in so far this week, pending Justin Herbert. So I need Herbert to get in practice and be healthy. If that's the case, I have the Chargers as one of my survivor picks, and I will also take them -7. If Herbert is out, it's a different story. I will probably still take them in survivor because Chase Daniel is a wonderful, wonderful backup quarterback who never sees the field and just makes millions upon millions of dollars to hold the clipboard. But whenever he comes in, he's a very serviceable backup. I think that the Chargers defense can almost win this game single-handedly over an up and coming Jaguars team. The Jaguars are no longer the laughing stock of the NFL. They have a real quarterback. They have a real coach. The Christian Kirk signing was really nice. They're an average team. I just think the Chargers are better.
For sure. Jags 0-5 against spread in their last 5 as an underdog and as a road underdog. Not very good news for them. But, again, a team like the Jags making that trip all the way out west. I mean, this is not an experienced team, right? Like, I don't think that bodes well for them. However, we are seeing 90% of the money coming in on the Jags so far at +7. That's more in that 50-50 range, but slightly in favor of the Jags in that one. I think I was more excited about this game earlier in the week than I am now. Now I just have a lot more questions than anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, it'll probably be a pass for me. And then I think if we know that Herbert's playing, that's probably gonna wind up being a survivor pick.
So speaking of survivor, if we can do the Falcons at the Seahawks as our next game,
okay,
I think that should be our survivor pick.
Well,
I know it's crazy.
Yeah, I'm certainly interested. So we'll do it. Falcons at Seahawks. This one's interesting, right? So the best line that you can get on both teams out there is both +1. You can do it for either side. But take it for what you will. We'll just call this game a pick 'em as it is right now. Looking at the money lines, I mean, it's pretty much near even for both sides. And then looking at the total, we got that at 42. Big money coming in on the Falcons here. 97% of the money on their spread at +1. And then 93% of the money coming in on the money line there for the Falcons. So I think everybody saw what the Falcons did against the Rams last week. Probably gave everybody a little bit of a scare in their survivor pools. Seattle, they stepped up to the challenge in week 1. They got the win with all the Russell Wilson hoopla. Did not look so good against the 49ers last week, but they were rocking and rolling even with Trey Lance going out there. But tell me what you're thinking as a survivor pick for this one, because I'm a little baffled here, Paul.
I'm thinking we should take the Seahawks.
You do you?
So what I did when we were like midway through the 1:00 games, and I'm just like, you know what? Let me look at the whole slate from top to bottom, and let me just look at home teams, because that's very important when it comes to survivor. You want to take a team at home. You do get some form of advantage with that. And I just said, like, no, can't take this one. No, can't take this one. No, can't take this one. And then I got to the 4:00s, and I'm like, wait a second. We could take the Seahawks. The Seahawks are at home against a Falcons team that has to travel across the country.
Well, they played in LA last week. I wonder if they stayed out there.
That's what we need to look up. If they went home and then came back, we are taking the Seahawks. If they stayed on the West Coast, then we can just pass. But if they traveled back home and are then going back to the West Coast, that is just a bad organizational move. And it tells me that they're going to just get killed in this game.
I think even too, right? Like, even if you're out on the road for that long, right? Like, you don't have the full use of your building, right? Your weight room, whatever the case is, right? Your training regimen, it's all got to be screwed up. So I do like that aspect.
But the Falcons are also not good. Like where they've blown a lead against the Saints, and they made it sort of a game against the Rams, right? Is that a good way of describing it?
Yeah.
Does that tell me that they're a good team in any way. Look, the Seahawks are not good, but they're at home.
One of the best
Geno
home
Smith
field,
looks okay.
one of
They're
the
going to
best
run
home
the ball.
field
It's going to be a close
advantages.
game. But looking down the list of potential teams you and I can take in Survivor, it's a bunch of road teams, which I don't think either of us really like to do, and maybe the Chargers. Is that about right?
Yep.
Just saying. At some point, we probably have to take the Seahawks if we make it to the end of this pool. So why not now?
I absolutely hear you. It was the same rationale I had for taking the Jaguars week 1 last year.
Yeah.
Try to get a leg up on the crowd, but I think you may have talked me into it.
I'm just saying it's a possibility.
And seeing literally everybody on the Falcons is just like, whoa.
Why is everyone on the Falcons? I can't figure it out. Like, what tells me that the Falcons win this game? They don't know how to use Kyle Pitts. Marcus Mariota is just okay. Like, look, they might have better skill position players on offense. I won't deny that. But, like, Geno Smith, Marcus Mariota, is one really better than the other?
They are not. I do like the hopefully a resurgence of Rashad Penny this week. That'd be fabulous.
Hell yeah.
For fantasy.
The travel for the Falcons, we have to somehow find out.
We'll figure that out.
Huge.
We'll figure that out. I'll take a look at some Falcons.com press conferences or something like that. I got to go back to my DFS days now.
Or I bet you like you could see like their practice schedule and it shows where they're practicing.
Maybe. I'll figure it out.
But we shall see. Dude, I'm not trying to like pull tricks out of a hat. I went down and I was like, ooh, wait, that's interesting.
No, you provided a good reason in there.
Thank you. That's very important when we make picks.
Yeah.
Because even if you're wrong, at least you explained it right.
Absolutely. Listen, this ain't our first show. We know.
Okay, now we have 2 really good games left in the 4:00 slate.
Indeed. We'll go Battle of the Bays, Green Bay at Tampa Bay. Wow. Best line you can get right now is on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers as a pick'em. You can do that on Caesars.
Ooh.
You can also, I mean, listen, everywhere else they're pretty much 1 or 2 point favorites, but yeah, Caesars there's a pick'em. It's pretty interesting. Best you can do for the Packers is +2 out there. I mean, you're gonna find that in plenty of places. It looks like. Okay. This is interesting.
Okay.
Now, and also, too, money line is right around even money for both teams. Total. This is what's most interesting out there. There is a 42 on the board. There's a 41.5. But if I'm not mistaken, every Rodgers-Brady game has been at least like 53 or something like that on the total. I saw something yesterday.
You know why the total is what it is, right?
I do.
Tell me why. Tell me why.
Mike Evans suspended for 1 game in his wonderful behavior down there in New Orleans in week 2.
But he might play.
What?
He might appeal the suspension so that he can play.
Okay. All right.
That's a game changer. We literally don't know.
Absolutely. Chris Godwin with the hamstring injury, Julio with the knee injury. Both haven't practiced yet this week.
There are 7 receivers total.
Yeah.
On both sides that haven't practiced yet.
Yeah. And then also, too, as Pauly was alluding to, Alan Lazard, Sammy Watkins, and who's the other one? Watson?
Randall Cobb.
Was it Cobb?
Cobb's sick.
Okay.
Cobb has illness. So who knows what that is?
Uh-oh. He's got the bubble guts.
And there's the only Watson also on the Packers. The only Packers receiver that has practiced is Dubes, the rookie.
Okay, that must have been a fun week for him. He's
gonna have a huge week. I might start him in one of my fantasy leagues.
He had to run every single route at practice for every receiver position.
They have practice squad guys that Aaron Rodgers is just yelling at, being like, "You stink, white boy. Why don't you run faster?"
Dubs, you got to run 4 routes.
Is it Dubs or Dubes?
I don't know.
It's spelled Dubes,
Yeah.
but it
All right.
might be Dubs.
We can go Dubes.
I own him in a fantasy. I own him and Sammy Watkins in a league because I was like, one of them is going to be good, but I don't know which one. So I drafted both.
I got Lazard, Watkins, and Tunyon stock in the Packers this year. But yeah, I don't think that this really spells a lot of good for the Buccaneers. The fact that this line did open up, I believe it opened at 3. And then, we've seen it just absolutely tumble down here. Also, too, the Buccaneers have gotten the better of the Packers in, I want to say, I think the last 3 times they played, but Bucks absolutely boat raced the Packers and then beat them in the regular season, and then beat them in the NFC Championship the year during COVID. This has been going Tampa Bay's way lately, but I think based on what the line has done here, going down in favor of the Packers, I think that they're the right play here.
I have a weird best bet in this game, and it has nothing to do with a side or a total.
Okay.
Leonard Fournette anytime touchdown.
You did. You mentioned this in the green room.
Like, I'm going to bet that. That is my only bet that I'm going to have on this game. With all the receivers out, with the fact that Tampa Bay has not scored a rushing touchdown yet this season, or maybe it's that Fournette hasn't had a rushing touchdown yet this season. Either way, they've had – this is a crazy stat. This is utterly absurd. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers have had 11 plays in the red zone so far this season.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know how many yards they've gained on those 11 plays?
-4.
8.
Okay.
That's got to change.
I knew it wasn't going to be
We got
great.
Tom Brady here. We got Leonard Fournette here. Let's go, fellas. Give me a Leonard Fournette swing pass out of the backfield, or just hand it off and stuff it down their throats.
Oh, so
Leonard Fournette anytime touchdown. That's my best bet on this game.
Okay. I like it. I thought you were going Russian, but okay.
No, anytime touchdown. It's easy.
Yeah, I mean, listen.
I don't have odds on it. Like, can you see that? I don't have that. It's not up on my book yet.
Let's see. This is great radio.
They're watching us as we're looking it up.
I forgot the football game was even on. I started watching the Phillies game.
I put the Yankee game on because I wanted Judge might get another at bat, but probably not.
George is letting me know. He's like, yeah.
George.
Gotta finish this shit up.
Georgia. Sorry.
All right. I'm getting down here. No touchdowns yet.
Okay. Well, there's nothing we can do about it. I assume he'll be about even money for an anytime touchdown this week.
All right. We got the Los Angeles Rams at the Arizona Cardinals in this one. Rams 3.5-point favorites. Best number you're going to get at any of the books. In the money line, Rams -175, Cardinals +163. Total sitting here at 48.5. Big money move here on this one. 80% of the money is on the under in this game. Initial total was set at 51.5, so that's a pretty interesting number there. Also, too, a lot of money bets are dead on 50-50. 75% of the money is on the Cardinals in this one to cover the 3.5-point spread. However, about 2/3 of the money on the Rams to just win the game outright. So you said something to the effect of this is one of your favorite games of the week?
This is my favorite game in the 4:00 slate. I love the Rams minus the points. I do not think the Cardinals are good. Look, they had a great 6 minutes, 8 minutes. I don't even know what it was. They did not look good in that game. Kyler Murray is just amazing. It's one player just being different.
Yeah.
But against a Rams defense, you can't be different. Their defense is too good. So I absolutely love the Rams minus the points here. I think that the Cardinals should be 0-3. They'll end up being 1-2 after this game. The Rams are, I think, like, I'm even considering an alternate line here, like a Rams -9.5, because I think the Rams ultimately win this game like 31-21.
So conventional wisdom would be in your favor in this one. Rams have not covered a game in their last 6 home efforts. And then the Cardinals have actually lost 10 of the last 11 games against the Rams.
But the game's in Arizona.
It is.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Like it.
Yeah, I said I maybe I meant to say, I don't know, whatever. We'll go back, but Cardinals 0-6 last 6 home games against.
Well, that makes me even happier.
Better. All right, so we're good there. All right, let's go to the primetime games here. Sunday night, we got the 49ers at the Broncos. 49ers, 1.5 point favorites out there. You can get a +2 on the Broncos if you're price shopping. However, that is on Bet Rivers, which I never even thought about downloading that app. You?
Bet Rivers, yeah. I mean,
Paul?
maybe it all depends on the promo code. Not the promo code, the promo that they're giving me.
Frozen.
I'm not frozen. I can hear myself. I can see myself.
Did you
can't
ever
see me.
Have you ever thought about downloading Three Rivers?
Bet Rivers?
Bet Three Rivers, whatever the
Bet Rivers?
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I got you.
Have I thought about it? Yes, I thought about it, but I never did it because I need a better promo. I need some free bets, people. Give me some free bets.
Yeah, you got to do something. Not everybody can be Caesars, you know what I'm saying? All right, lot of action on the 49ers in this one. About 3/4 of the bets, 88% of the money on the Niners spread in this one. 83% of bets, 89% of money going on San Francisco money line here as well. A lot of people liking the under here too. 64% of the bets and 90% of the money on the under in this one. I don't really have a play on the total, but I do like the Broncos. I think eventually these guys got to get it figured out. And listen, I understand that the 49ers are a better team with Jimmy Garoppolo, but are they? You know, like Jimmy G doesn't really impress me that much. I'm getting points with the Broncos at home, who are 11-3 against the spread in their last 14 games as a home dog of 3 points or fewer, which is very cool. And listen,
why, Alan?
What?
Why are you giving me stats about the Broncos? Nathaniel Hackett was not the head coach.
I'm well aware.
Russell Wilson was not the quarterback.
This
is a different team.
You still got plenty of pieces. Yes, and I think that they're better. They're better than what Denver
How are they better? Have you seen them? Have you seen them through 2 weeks? Have you seen them?
It's a new coach and a new quarterback in their first 2 games. Everybody chill out. Everybody relax. Take it easy. Have a breath.
Well, we know what the 49ers are with Jimmy Garoppolo. We are a team that can make the Super Bowl. We are a team that can make the conference title game.
What is this we?
All that we know about the Denver Broncos is that you have a new head coach that does not know how to call plays and get his team to simple victories. So I love the 49ers in this game. They started as an underdog. That is when I placed a wager on them on Tuesday. So the fact that they're now -1, I'm okay with that. I'm going to play this on an alternative line of -3 as well. If you're on the Broncos, this should be a wonderful take aside for us this week at the current line of
1.5.
What is it actually?
1.5.
Is it 1.5?
Yeah, I had to think for a second. The +2 is on Bet Rivers.
All right, I got 49ers -1.5. You got the Broncos +1.5. And if somehow this game ends 24-23, I'll be very sad.
Could you imagine? Holy Toledo. All right, I got too much going on. Oh, the Phillies this is beautiful.
Hey, last but certainly not least.
That's right. We've got an NFC East matchup, one that could ruin friendships and family ties forever. It is the Dallas Cowboys at the New York Football Giants, the 2-0 New York Football Giants. Very exciting stuff for the people around here. Giants are the 1-point favorites in this one. We have seen this line at, I want to say 2.5. I don't know if it reached 3 in favor of the Giants. It might have at some places, but much drastic drop here with essentially going with the pick'em here. And Cowboys garnering heavy money in this one. 70% of the money on the spread. Also on the money line here too as well. Cooper Rush stepped in. Cooper Rush is now 2-0 as an NFL starting quarterback. I don't know if you knew that. However, no, not however. I'm going with the Cowboys in this one. I listen, the Giants, congratulations on the 2-0 stuff. Still not playing the greatest football. You beat the Tennessee Titans, who I don't like at all. You also beat a Carolina Panthers team that might not even go undefeated in a wheelchair league. This is your 2-0 football Giants. I got to go with the Cowboys as much as I hate them. I can't believe I'm going to root for them and actually cheer for their success on Monday night. This sickens me greatly.
You don't have to. You're choosing to.
Yeah, I guess. But
So when I was picking this game, I wrote something down that makes 0 sense.
Okay.
I wrote Giants win, Cowboys cover, but the spread is less than 3. So right. I was trying to figure out how that's even possible. But I'm going to stick to my guns, and I'm going to say the Giants are going to win this football game, even though I have not bet on the Giants in probably 5 years. Literally.
See, this is also what makes me feel good about the game because you're always against them.
And now I'm finally like, wait,
them.
the Giants are going to win a game. Oh, you are what your record says you are, which is undefeated. You're also facing Cooper Rush. I get it. He's also undefeated as a starting quarterback, but the Cowboys are not good. The Giants aren't good. This is like an ugly, weird Monday Night Football game. The Giants are at home. They look like a functional organization at this point. We have Saquon Barkley back, and he's doing really well, and he looks really good. Sterling Shepard looks good. Daniel Jones is fine. What I can't figure out about the Giants as a Giants fan is why is Kadarius Toney not more involved? This guy, every time he gets the ball, is electric, and he's not all that involved, but he's being a great teammate and is like, I don't care, man. We're winning games, and I love to see that. But it's one of those weird things that the fact that I am on the Giants to win this game means they're probably doomed. I would also like to give a quick shout out to Anthony Servino, the real NFL guru on Twitter. Happy birthday, brother. His birthday is tomorrow. Yep. That's why he didn't join us tonight. Just wanted to give him that wonderful Cowboys fan a little shout out. But we'll talk before then. Maybe we'll get a little friendly bet on the Monday night game between me and Anthony, since it's our teams. What's something that we could bet?
We were talking about New York, New Jersey pizza. Maybe whatever you think the best pizza is, you go hand deliver it to him.
That would be a hell of a drive. That guy, he lives by Atlantic City. Oh my God!
Just DoorDash it to him. It's all good.
I'll be like, Aunt, I got you a birthday present. You're welcome. No, I would get him New Jersey. I'd get him like his local pizza place.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Ooh.
Maybe we'll do like I like doing like bottle of wine bets. Those are fun. Ooh. Where like, instead of the $15-$20 bottle of wine, you get you bet a little nicer one. You put a little extra money on it.
Little vino.
Yeah. But I'll talk to Anthony about that. But again, so I'm on the Giants this week for the first time in a really long time. But don't trust me. I'm coming off a 4-12 week. What say you, Al?
No,
you're on the Cowboys here, right? Are you taking the money line, or you like them plus the points? How do you like it?
I think, when we're looking at Monday, I'm probably going to try to go for the more sure thing. So if I can get any points there, why the hell not? I don't think the Giants would ever blow this Cowboys team out. But I also think, too, that if you wait, you're probably going to lose some of the value there, right? Like you could have had Dallas at a 2.5 or buying up to 3 or whatever the case is. But this is I think this is a pretty good spot for Dallas. Dallas's defense has been pretty good here too at the onset of the season. So
we got to see what happens with Parsons. He didn't practice due to illness.
Throw it up, kid, right? And get out there. Let's go.
No, I mean Micah Parsons. If I could still get a Defensive Player of the Year ticket on him, I would. But it's not available right now.
Yeah, the man is wild. From linebacker you.
He's just amazing. That like he's the first player since I was a kid that like looks like Lawrence Taylor.
Wow. It's high praise.
That's the truth. I'm a Giants fan, but you can see it.
All right.
He is a game breaker. But let's see his health. We're recording this on Thursday. Let's see where he's at by Monday. But yeah, for the first time in a long time, I'm taking the Giants, bro.
All right. I will be with the Cowboys. So can you run down the take a sides that we got going?
So we got 3 take a sides for this week.
Okay.
We have I am on the Bengals -6. Al is on the Bengals +6. Then we have the Sunday night football game. I am on the 49ers -1.5. Al gets the Broncos +1.5. And the final take aside is the Monday night football game. I am on the Giants. Al is on the Cowboys. But you're going to have to tell me what the spread is.
Let's do money. Let's just do straight up, because I think by the time we get to kickoff, it might very well be in favor of Dallas.
Sure. Money line is completely okay with me.
Yep.
We got 3 again this week. Al has defeated me 2-1 the first 2 weeks. He's hot. I'm not. So let's see what happens in week 3.
And listen, it's a good week to practice what I preach with the bankroll and kind of taking it easy and making sure you're doing the right thing with your money. So listen, I really don't like a lot of these games this week, so I'm not going to be tempted to jump in head first on this stuff. I'm gonna see where my opportunities are, and then we strike where we feel fit. But we mentioned it tonight that there's a couple of games out there that that there's going to be a couple of good opportunities, and we'll see where it goes. I'm actually going golfing on Saturday, so I kind of got to make up my mind tomorrow about what I'm doing, because I'll just be a useless human being on Saturday. But we'll figure it out.
Nice, my man. Well, we did it. Week 3.
That's right.
Let's hope week 3 for me is better than week 2. That's all I gotta say.
I was in such good spirits before the show, and then my dog decided to lie down in the middle of the road. I'm like beyond frustrated with this animal right now. But next week, bring in the heat.
Well, go take care of your dog. Let's and let's see where we're at this weekend, my man.
Yes, indeed. All right, for me, Paul, rest of the internet, we are gone, folks. Peace.